This is my third and final review of Earthlink's new analytics software, the metric system they use for evaluating websites' traffic that are hosted by Earthlink. To watch my first two reviews, please click on the links at the bottom of this page. For those of you who haven't seen those two previous reviews, I should explain up front that I'm not a fan of Earthlink's new analytics software. They purchased it back in 2015 because Google was no longer supporting Urchin 6 and Earthlink didn't want to pay for the next upgrade. So instead they purchased this analytics software, and it saved them a lot of money, but unfortunately, because it's so erratic, it is not a good product. I think that many people who are using Earthlink to host their websites are really getting poor service from this software. One of the problems I've mentioned before is that quite often you'll turn it on trying to get some statistics, finding out how many people have been on your site for a given day, and it won't work. It'll grind and grind away for hours, literally, and you don't get anything. It just keeps on grinding. So in the past I've commented on this, but I haven't been able to show it. This time I figured out how to use the magic of time-lapse photography to show just how bad this problem is. Keep an eye on the clock in the upper right hand corner. We're now moving forward at 60 times normal speed. The hand whizzing around like a second hand is actually the minute hand. Over half an hour has gone by and we still don't have any results. In these days where internet value is based on seconds, this is totally unacceptable. I stopped it at an hour because I think I'd proved my point. This is not a good system that does this any time of the day, any day of the week. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, well, it's bandwidth usage. I'm doing this during a busy time of the day. I have done this at 1 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday morning, and I still run into the same problem. There is something wrong with this program that it locks up like this almost every single day. Unfortunately, that's not the only problem. Another one that happens quite often is that it'll run for a while and then report that there's no data available for the time period that you're querying, and you can't even control the time period that you're querying. Here's an example. That query just burned 5 minutes and didn't give me anything for my wait. In an era where YouTube attention spans are measured on the order of 3 minutes and internet attention spans less than 2 minutes, this is just unacceptable. Even when it works normally, and this is an example, there are still several problems. For example, it takes a full minute to load up in this example, but several times it'll take 2, 3, even 4 minutes to load. And that occurs anytime you make a change to the metric you want to look at. For example, if you want to look at page impressions instead of visitor overview, that's another minute to 4 minutes. You want to change the dates, you can't do it at one time. You have to change the start date, let it crank through that, then the end date, and let it crank through that. So to get, say, the number of page views you're going to get for your site from 2 different dates, you may have to wait, even if everything's working perfectly, 15 minutes. As frustrating as these problems are, they are nothing compared to the fact that Earthlink Analytics regularly undervalues the number of page views a website gets. Here's some. On June 6th, it said my website got 1,121 views. 1,118 on the 4th, and 1,208 on the 3rd. Let's compare these 3 dates to what the gold standard for internet metrics is, Google Analytics. And here we are on the Google Analytics page for my website. According to it, on the 6th, I got 2,172 page views, almost twice what Earthlink Analytics claims I got. The fourth was 1,930 page views. And on the third, it's 2184. In all three cases, Earthlink Analytics was almost half of what Google Analytics is reporting for the same dates. And as bad as that sounds, there are times when it gets much worse. Over the past year that Earthlink Analytics has been operational, an average of once a month, the reporting indicates that the number of people visiting the site drops to absolutely zero, and sometimes for 2 and 3 days. This is an example of 2 such times. During these days where Earthlink reported 0 page views, Google Analytics reported thousands of page views. Clearly, there's a problem. After using Earthlink's analytics software for almost a year now, my final review is that it is frustrating to use, unreliable, and inaccurate. But I'm just one website. If you've been using it, I sincerely hope you've had better luck. And as always, thank you very much for watching.